Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome. I'm here with a really exciting spread. I'm so excited to do this. Let's see here. This is going to be actually a sign by sign spread. So it's going to be, for each of the signs, if you're dealing with someone who has a really strong emphasis on that sign in particular, and it can be you working with that archetype on a personal level, we'll see just what is coming up for review, what might be at play here on this time. So at the time of being drawn to this reading, it could be like, well, I want to reflect on this particular archetype in my own chart, or I feel like I want to reflect on this sign here in relation to my own. And then we'll see what comes through. So let's get into it. For those of you working with the archetype of Aries, let's see here what's coming through. If you're either dealing with an Aries, someone's got a lot of Aries in their chart, even it doesn't have to be the sun sign, it could be moon sign, Venus, Mars, ascendant, rising. So if you're just working with the archetype of Aries, just called kind of the Empress, what is coming up for review. And if you're drawn to this reading, there could be here a message for you in relation to space. Wow, right there, the Magician. Now, keynote. This person, whoever they're very proud. They've got a lot of pride. When it comes to communicating that, hot. Oh my. Okay, it's really hot in here, guys. I'm hearing that. The Sun upright, the Strength in reverse, and the Mother of Cups. So I'm seeing somebody's like wondering. They're like, somebody got a lot of water here. Now, we can be doing these readings over time. So, if you find that, this speaks of a certain angle of this discussion, or this connection, and we can read further on these, feel free to comment if this is like really interesting for you and you're like, yeah, I want to continue and see like, more of, let's say, what might develop over time in relation to this type of spread, then feel free to comment and let me know. But for a number of you, somebody here could have a lot of water in the chart. This can be someone having a lot of water, someone having a lot of fire, and there being a really big question of, what's their intention. I'm seeing someone having a really hard time reading someone. Now, let's say that you're watching for someone who's got, let's say, a Venus in Aries. There could be this feeling of like, well, what do they want? What do they like? If you're watching for someone who's got a Mars in Aries, there could be this question of what's their intention and not being able to read that. So what I'm seeing is that someone here is really confused. I'm hearing that for a small number of you about when it comes to what you also make of the space of this connection. And there's intimidation as well, possibly on the table. Also a question of timing. When do I sort of bring the question forth? So for a number of you, there's a lot of attraction. Someone's really, really interested in someone. I'm hearing that as well. It's very clear, especially physically. Oh my God, there's so much here that someone also feels that there is to work with. And it can be your own energy. It could be your own potential. Like, wow, this is like so exciting as well. But the point is, when and how do we discover that in a way that we can also put into words? And so maybe someone is, sometimes someone's a little shy. They're like they're eyeing the person of their dreams. Truly, I'm hearing from the corner of the room sort of feeling, and they're thinking, why? I'm hearing as well, are they moving that way? So thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to get on to Taurus. Libra, thank you so much for tuning in. We're here with you, or reading now. Let's jump into it and see here. If you're dealing with someone who's got a lot of Libra in their chart, it could be your own energy that you're sort of reflecting on around this time. Let's say that your Venus is in Libra, then this could be speaking of how you're sort of working with these energies around this time in relation to your projects, even, let's say, some kind of like proposal that you have come through that you're planning, that someone's planning in your midst, and just in general, how you're sort of interacting with the element in the archetype of Venus. So let's jump into it and see what comes through. Dear Libra. I'm hearing yes, no, yes, no. Okay, a lot of going back and forth here. The Hermit in reverse. Six of Swords upright. For there could be something that you're timing. You might also be dealing with matters related to the sixth house. It could be health. It could be healing. For a number of you, maybe you're thinking, of communicating something, presenting something, and there's been a lot of patience that's been needed with that. Now we then move into the Nine of Pentacles. For a number of you, this is maybe something that you're presenting, or you're planning to present, something maybe that you're even working on heavily, a lot going into that. And you feel like there's a lot at risk, possibly, or that you feel like there's a lot to this space. And you want to kind of like take it seriously. Now we then step into the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, for me this is a new business, maybe even a project you're like gonna make it official. It's a new brand for a number of you, and there's a lot involved though, a lot of processing. Now we have the Ten of Swords as well. Okay, for me it has to do with casting. You're talking to different people, maybe there's a number of factors involved. You got the Four of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. So for a number of you, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, but there's, oh yeah, with the Magician as well. This is, for a number of you, a trip you want to take or something you want to propose. For a number of you, it's something of like a vacation. So I'm saying like the Magician, it's something that you have your sights set on. You're like, okay, that's where we're headed. The World and the Ten of Cups. For a number of you, this is maybe someone who you met, who you just, at the very outset, you were like, we're so clearly, I'm hearing the couple. I'm hearing for one another. I'm hearing that we are to also ourselves. Interesting, like someone felt like this is no question, no doubt, my industry. I'm hearing that. With the Death card in reverse, I'm hearing also my match, the Son of Cups upright leading out. Now there's a little bit possibly for a number of you of a competitive energy, possibly for a number of you, where someone feels like, you know, it's just as much like how we get it off the ground. Maybe someone didn't like, they felt like from the outset, they're like, this is so all that, but I don't want to come out and like just say that. So they didn't. I'm hearing they felt like maybe they needed to kind of, I'm hearing also manage a certain space of interest over time. So yeah, there's a lot of build up here with the Ten of Pentacles and the Son of Cups, but the Son of Cups is mirroring the Magician. For a number of you, someone may be planning some kind of vacation. I'm hearing that with Three of Wands, maybe some kind of project. I'm hearing as well that they want to maybe introduce you to someone within the space of, whenever you're dealing with someone's got a lot of Scorpio, a lot of Virgo, maybe even, or they're very, very, very sensitive, analytical as well. Somebody has an idea. They want to carry out some plan. Thank you for tuning in, Libra. We're going to jump into Scorpio next. And feel free to tune in there. Everyone is Scorpio, so if you do feel guided, then feel free to tune along. And if you like this format, feel free to comment and here. And I'm hearing pitch me. Okay, for a number of you though, maybe yet again for Libra, there could be something that you're presenting or someone is getting ready to present. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get on to Scorpio. Thank you, Scorpio, for tuning in. Welcome. We're here for you. We're here with the archetype of Scorpio, Pluto, ultimately Mars energy. And you could be watching this reading, given that you've got maybe a really strongly placed Pluto, or you got a really strongly placed Mars. Maybe you've got Mars conjunct Pluto, for example. You could even have them at advanced degrees, whatever it is, and no judgment, right? To say that, you know, oh, this is more Scorpio than that, and it's ultimately always a matter of, you know, your personal chart and how you channel those energies. But if you have a lot of Scorpio to begin with in your birth chart, there could be a focus on this reading for you. In addition, if you're dealing with someone who's got a lot of Scorpio, or if you suspect that they've got a lot of Scorpio, this reading can similarly be for you. So let's jump into it and see what is at play. And you can feel free to tune in to this reading whenever you feel guided to it. And I'm filming this though in July 2020, so it can be a focus on what is to come of this connection, maybe with this energy archetype, or what it is that you are connecting to within this space at this time. What is it you're connecting to in relation to this archetype at this time? So let's jump into it yet again and see here what's coming up. There's something from the past. I'm hearing that Mother wants a bright, Father swords. Something that someone is, I'm hearing they want to reconnect with something here. There's some space here related to the Mother of Wands. We're going to pull a few more cards on this character, because we need to see exactly what I'm hearing she's all about. I'm hearing that Four of Swords. Okay, so for me, this could even be an investigation. Maybe someone is really curious about someone. They're like, they feel like they need at least to ask a lot of questions. And we have the Daughter of Cups in reverse, Wheel of Fortune. This is someone who possibly someone knew from the past. Or I'm hearing, I played a gig with them one time. I played around with them one time. I'm hearing that as well. I'm hearing cat and mouse, the chase. I'm hearing, and the way that I'm hearing the gumball rolled. I don't know what that came through in another reading. It was way back, a few months ago. Anyhow, Seven of Wands here, leading in. Now, this is a pick a card. Well, not pick a card, but it's sign by sign, right? And I do a number of readings every month. So, you know, if you are also feeling guided to watch, you know, in another number of formats, there are also the monthly readings. So if you want to watch another format, if you feel guided to watch another format, then just know those readings are also there, and they may provide further insight. Ten of Pentacles. Wow, somebody's reputation was seriously on the line, and they didn't want to say like, oh, I'm like too chief executive for this, but it was possibly actually the case. You have the Moon as well coming through in reverse, dear Scorpio. Somebody felt it was risky. I'm hearing to cut ties, and also risky I'm hearing to cut to the chase of the matter. Like maybe they felt something was better off not said. I'm hearing not said with the Ace of Pentacles. I'm hearing the Ten of Pentacles. Maybe it was in such a way of saying, well, I have to also, for a small number of you, this is a surprise that somebody is planning, with the Ace of Pentacles mirroring the Star leading out. For a number of you, there was something that someone felt, you know, I have to retire first. I'm hearing that with the Ten of Swords. I have to look really closely at this space. Like I cannot just get involved. I'm hearing that as well. Maybe they felt something was a little suspicious. Maybe they felt they needed to look into something here with the Ten of Swords in reverse, mirroring the Mother of Wands upright. Now, Daughter of Cups is in reverse. Wow, what a memory. I'm hearing, oh, what a night. Three of Pentacles in reverse, Hierophant upright. I'm hearing hired. She hired me. Maybe this is somebody who, you know, there's a lot of potential. So when the first time they met, they knew that. And there's a focus on the number 3, possibly for a number of you, even 7. That reduces down to 10. I'm hearing 8 as well. For a number of you, I'm hearing you met this person in 09. I'm here in 2013 as well for a number of you. Or someone met someone when it was just like the timing was off. Like somebody was maybe also like really tired. I don't know what that's like. Maybe they were just at a point in their world at that time where they were like, I'm just not ready for a new relationship. I'm hearing that as well. With the Ace of Pentacles in between the Father of Swords and the Daughter of Cups in reverse. Now, there's something about the conversation interesting. I was like, well, how do we name it? And then the Tower came through. So, and that's right over the Ace of Pentacles. So maybe for a number of you, someone felt they wanted to say something, maybe, or they wanted to present something, but they felt it was kind of controversial. Ultimately, I'm hearing that way, like it would not make sense, maybe, as they might have suspected that it potentially could come off. And so they waited on that. Maybe they didn't. I'm here, end up calling it out. The Death card here with the Emperor right over the Nine of Pentacles upright. But it's funny because, again, maybe they were neither here nor there in relation to that, in relation to that connection or that conversation. And it's funny, my foot is like on this device into the wall, and it's so warm, so I don't know what that's alluding to, but it's like if I had never said that, you would have never known that, right? But I said it right there. So for a number of you, there's something maybe, you know, that someone has possibly felt like the connection was so strong, but it never really happened. And it's funny because we see the Death card looking at the Four of Pentacles, this disbursement of a reality. I'm hearing that the Four of Pentacles, and what brings it to shape and form is the space of balance that is suggested with the Four of Pentacles, right? When we look at this card, we look at what is situated to make sense. I'm hearing that. What is situated in such a way to bring form a sense of cohesiveness to otherwise, separate parts of the puzzle. So in other words, it's like, I'm seeing it in this way that somebody felt the need to clarify a space, and they felt that they were not able to do that yet. I'm hearing it now. I don't know what that's alluding to, but maybe for a number of you, that was a space that someone felt that they were also in, and it couldn't be in relation to their environment, like maybe something in the environment, like maybe someone's like, well, I have this great idea, I want to get it off the ground, but I'm still operating, I'm hearing in the haze of the next storyline, the Empress in reverse. So maybe someone was even, they were not finished yet with some cycle, and they're looking at the next cycle, and they're thinking that's really, really exciting, but I don't think that I can really give it my all as well in that space quite yet. So I'm better off managing what I have started over here and really making that clear. I'm hearing within its own, I'm hearing time and space, I'm hearing of conversation, I'm hearing continuum, and then I'll get into the next chapter when the time is right. So I don't know what that is alluding to, and that was maybe someone's perspective. Now, for a number of you, maybe someone felt that there were a number of factors here related to the Empress. Somebody felt someone was really, really convincing. I'm hearing like on one hand, and they were like, this is everything. And I'm even seeing somebody audition, and they're like, wow, it's perfect. However, it's like, sorry, the script is not ready. Okay, I really want to cast you. I'm seeing someone like, see someone, and they're thinking, oh, yes, like I want them for that role. The Lovers and the Eight of Cups, and maybe they looked at this person and they thought, right off the bat, oh my goodness, like I see it. But when it comes to the point of like, and I'm hearing they were very comfortable within this space in a certain way, like physically, especially with the Empress in reverse, marrying the Mother of Wands, like I really, really felt like also like, I'm hearing, because you make me feel so young. They felt really free in their presence as well. I'm hearing that way with the Sun of Wands. But there were also a lot of questions, and there were also, I'm hearing a lot of others possibly that were also interested in that space. And I'm seeing that somebody thought I'm hearing again, better off not to go home. I'm hearing thick-skinned, or I'm hearing thin-lipped. I don't know what that's alluding to. Like someone felt that they couldn't really do what they wanted in that space. So it was like better not to like think of it like that as well. And so I don't know what that's alluding to, but maybe someone felt that the space also maybe in some kind of way was not ready yet. Now, what's interesting though, before we get into the next sign, I know we spent a bit of time here on Scorpio, but what's kind of interesting is that someone here, I'm hearing specifically, maybe felt that there was an element of divine timing at play. And I say that because we do have the star that leads out. So for a number of you, there was something that maybe even someone felt like just intuitively, like I need to really like focus on that part of the project before I can really tackle that one. Really, really focus on that. And then right then comes the Sun of Cups. So for a number of you, there is something that maybe I'm here, I know we belong together, but it was just something about, I'm hearing the meteor that hit at that moment that made all the sparks fly out. And we had to then address those bits and pieces and then translate translate them into, I'm hearing the orbit once again, that we would then, I'm hearing, integrate within the concept space of in a way that was more ordered. I don't know what that's linked to, but visually, imagine that. Like a meteor strikes, and be it metaphorically, right? Like, wow, the meteor struck. It hit me. We're meant to be. But then there was this backlash, let's say in this way of like the experience, and that threw someone off possibly. But maybe in the way of saying, well, I just feel like the timing isn't right. So I have to wait. I'm waiting for all of the parts of the meteor to splash out. I'll address each one of them indirectly. I'm hearing that as well. I'm hearing also independently. And then I will wait for the time to feel right, where we can bring all of the pieces of the puzzle together to then proceed. I'm hearing with the statement, wow, in relation to it. So let's clear it. This could be something different for everyone, right? But I'm waiting for, the moment when I can actually also say what my perspective was of that experience. So, okay, let's jump into the next reading here with Sagittarius. Thank you for tuning in, Sagittarius. And for those of you who are really digging this format, okay, feel free to comment, let me know. And if you want to expand it, we can always jump into a more extensive reading. Here, similar format, if you're liking it yet again, where we go sign by sign, and then we'll see to that. And if those of you who are not already subscribed and you'd like to get notified of new readings, then feel free to subscribe and you'll get notified when they do come out. And thank you as well for all of your support for these readings. Let's jump into it here for you, Sagittarius. I'm hearing, I've been waiting to talk to you. I'm hearing that with the Six of Pentacles. The Hangman, some of you right off the bat, wow. Whew. A lot of people here dealing with a Pisces or someone who's got a lot of Pisces, or it might be your energy as well. Remember that, the Hangman and the High Priestess. There's a lot of pressure is what I'm hearing. Justice here, and the Daughter of Pentacles, someone's super interested in somebody. They're like, oh my God, they see them as like just everything. I'm hearing Velma. She's so Velma. Perfect. Something about someone's eyes, I'm hearing that. But somebody's also really hard to read. You have the High Priestess in reverse and the Justice card upright. There's something that somebody feels, they dream about this space. Let's pull more cards on that. Who's that? Who's doing the dreaming here with the Daughter of Pentacles as well? For no reason, this could be something someone wants to cast someone in a certain role. They're really impressed. Six of Wands upright here will eventually. So it could be focused on timing here. Lovers, okay. And the Eight of Cups in reverse. Oh, so there's a focus on the past. Maybe someone feels they need to clear something up. They feel like they need to make sure of something as well before they take that first step. I'm here, Taurus, and here comes the Son of Pentacles. Let's clear that in the crown chakra. There's something that maybe even went down, and it was just, the Empress. Somebody wants to get to know someone. They want to patch up their reputation. I'm hearing that as well. Okay, Sagittarius, let's jump into Capricorn. Okay. Hey Capricorn, thank you so much for tuning in. Love and light to you. We got the Seven of Wands, the Mother of Pentacles. Wow, so sing-songy. Okay, I'm seeing someone's like really into someone here. They're very interested. They're into it. They're like, where is this gonna go? It's just like they're hawking the movie. They're like, I want to know. I'm here. It goes, I want to know. Ace of Wands, Sun in reverse. Let's get into it. Someone's been waiting to meet up with someone. I'm hearing that as well. I got the Magician at the base of the Hermit in reverse. For no reason, something that someone's been waiting on. They're like, when is the time? When are we going to actually finalize this? Actually finally carry it out? And the Hermit here relates to the archetype of Virgo. The Magician relates to Sagittarius. I'm hearing Scorpio with these two as well. There could be a Scorpio involved, or someone can be really tapping into that energy field, really planning something out here, analyzing. Somebody could be kind of skeptical as well. I'm hearing that, especially with the Hermit here. Now, for a number of you, someone's been even like, I'm hearing watching someone from afar. I'm hearing that with the Hermit in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles coming through as well. Yes, they have been even like, oh my, they've been paying. They've been like paying. Temperance upright, mirroring the Hermit in reverse. Like to get information, they've been talking to someone's friends, the Daughter of Pentacles upright. They're like, can you tell me more about that? More about her. I'm hearing that as well. But this came through strongly in a number of readings, but whatever you feel guided to watch. You got the Temperance card upright and the Daughter of Pentacles. Now, for those of you who are new viewers, I do readings every month more so, and as of yet, at least, and every month, and so and there could be further clues there in terms of what you might be experiencing. So we're just kind of just tip of the iceberg here. I'm hearing that with just the tip of the iceberg with the Temperance card. I'm hearing that. Okay, so oh boy, there's a reason why they are stalking. I'm hearing following. I'm hearing them around as well, like that. The High Priestess. Wow, so some of you are someone's obsessed here with someone, actually. It could be a Pisces. You got the High Priestess coming through. This card's been coming through for almost every sign. Now, we have the Temperance card as well. There could be someone who's got a lot of Sag. There could be a Virgo as well. There could be a Sag, double Sag. They got Sag Moon, Sag Sun. I'm hearing that specifically. Or Sun here in the 9th house. Sun in the 4th. I'm hearing that as well in Sagittarius. Let's clear it. Daughter Pentacles looking back. So there's somebody here who maybe even has like set up like their friends. Oh gosh. Whoever you're dealing with, good luck. Good freaking luck. They are super secretive. You would never even guess. Death card. Have all cards mirroring the moon right over the High Priestess in between. Sandwiching the 8 of Cups, yeah. And the 7 of Pentacles leading down to the Temperance card with the Sun of Daughter Pentacles. Somebody here is obsessed and you would never know it. That's the thing. That's the particularity about this connection, is that you would absolutely never know it. Now, for a number of you, this is someone who actually, I'm hearing love lockdown. I got my love lockdown. They're very possessive. Oh my goodness, the Hermit in reverse. Death upright. I'm hearing also, they've got a really high standard, like it doesn't cut it. I'm hearing that specifically, maybe in work environments, that could be a clue as to who this might be. They got a really high standard. They're very scrupulous. They're really, they pinch pennies and they place them strategically on the paper of their assets. I don't know what, they count everything. Good luck trying to get something by this person with the Mother of Swords as well. Good luck trying to squeeze another penny out of them as well. They're a little cheap here every now and then. All right, chair, but they know how to get a good deal as well. I'm hearing that. Okay. Now for a number of you, this person is really, I'm hearing he dimed me. He penny nickel dimed me. I don't know what, you guys. It's like this person, maybe someone feels like, yeah, but that's interesting because they would never know it. Now, the person who this person's stalking, whatever, they have no idea. They're like, I would never think that he was watching my stories. Sun of Cups in reverse. He seemed like he was in another world, another universe. He was like, had nothing to do with me. I mean, not even bothered a bit. Not even a bad of an eyelash, a single eyelash. Even one little lash on the eyelash. Let's clear it. Yeah, they were like, I would have never, and this is somebody in the past someone knew. I'm hearing that. Mother Cups in reverse. Lovers are bright. Some of you have you have some sort of, whoa. You have a heart-to-heart connection with this person. You could have talked to them twice. I'm hearing that. With the Death card looking at the lovers. But lo and behold, those conversations, I'm hearing something actually was transferred. And it could be actually with your chakras. There was something like you had some sort of communication. And it's funny because I'm hearing the dialogue is what brought us together and split us apart. So the power of the connection was in the words, in what was exchanged there. I'm hearing that ultimately. And for a number of you, it's very interesting because I'm seeing that it's the type of thing where we don't talk, but when we do, the conversation is so intense and it's so magnificent, I'm hearing as well. But also, I'm hearing challenging to manage that it made no sense. I'm here, and maybe someone stepped away from that space truly just as upright. They were like, I'm gonna just stalemate. I'm gonna just let it just sit on the chessboard with all the pieces just, out in the open, sitting there like that. And I'm gonna say, hey, like, I'm hearing what do we do about that? 8 of Pentacles. So yeah, something was at a stalemate. I'm hearing that. Maybe even there's a little bit of like a catch-22 circumstance here with the 8 of Pentacles that someone left a certain storyboard at. I'm hearing that in that way. The Hangman leads out. So for a number of you, I'm hearing someone left something also in Morse code. Okay, for the mouse to figure out, I'm hearing, but without the cheese. Like, I don't know what that's linked to, but let's clear that. Yeah, ready to clear that? Death card here. Oh, okay, looking back at it. So I don't want to say there's a little bit of a grudge here, but something there. Yeah, and I'm hearing rise and shine. So for a number of you, it's this type of thing as well where, yeah, oh my goodness, somebody has been dreaming about someone, dreams back and forth. Oh, relentless dreams. And in addition to that, someone has even been writing to someone, like automatic writing. They feel like I suddenly just get these downloads. I feel like they're talking to me. I'm hearing that with the Mother Cups. Like someone feels like someone has not let them go. Now, it's kind of ironic because maybe the actual communication was very brief, sparse. Now, this is a general reading, remember that. But if you do feel that it does resonate, and if you would like further insights, then feel free to watch the other readings there on the channel if you do feel guided, and always heed your personal intuition. If you like a private reading, we can jump into that one-on-one. You can book via alchemyandyou.com. The link is in the bio description box below. In addition, we have a number of readings on the channel that are sparsing out, right, each of these archetypes in much greater depth. So take it as you will. I'm hearing, I think of them from time to time. I'm hearing that as well. So that might be a clue for a number of you as to, what it is that you might even feel like, it's something that maybe develops over time. So let's jump into the next sign here. We got Aquarius, all right. And then we'll move into Pisces after. All right. Maybe just a quick second, Aquarius. Bandit, is that you? Aquarius, I think Bandit's making a little appearance here for you. Oh, Bandit! All right, but we got to get down to business. I'm hearing, get down on it, da, 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 get down on it, da, da. Ten of Swords reverse. All right, I'm seeing something has reached a climax. Here's the Ace of Cups in reverse. The Daughter of Cups in reverse. Four of Pentacles upright. Five of Swords. Okay, we lead out with the Magician. Now, Magician's mirroring the Four of Pentacles. There's something that someone feels is kind of testy. A little bit dicey. I'm hearing a little bit risky, a little bit like, I'm hearing a Ferrari that they don't have the license to drive quite yet. Okay, 4. I'm hearing that with the Ace of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Swords in reverse. Now, I'm hearing the number 4, and you have the Four of Pentacles. Let's clear it. For me, it's just been something that has been going on for a while now. I'm hearing training. I've been training them. They've been training me. I'm hearing that with the Four of Pentacles. It could be a low length of years, actually, that someone has been also maybe, kind of prepping. I could say it in that way, prepping for some kind of I'm hearing conversation here coming with the Ten of Swords in reverse. Now, what is that about with the Ten of Swords? Because the Ten of Swords came through as the first card, and it's mirroring the Daughter of Cups in reverse. So someone is almost, I'm seeing, wanting to go back to the basics with someone here. Seven of Wands. So there's a lot that somebody, maybe they were very interested in someone. They were very interested in them, and I'm hearing salt and vinegar chips. I don't know, that could be a very specific message coming through for somebody here. I don't know, we're channeling, working with the cards, we're also channeling. So whatever comes through, I'm kind of relaying that. Mother of Swords in reverse, Ten of Cups upright, the Magician looks at. So yeah, Two of Swords in reverse. So for me, there's so much, maybe as someone feels it, like so many aspects to the attraction that someone felt was actually like kind of I don't want to say impossible, but like kind of awkward. Like I'm seeing people kind of thinking, how can I do that? Like that, in that way. Like they're looking at the puzzle pieces and they're just like, it's that feeling like you open the puzzle and the pieces, you really are thinking like, did they get this wrong? I think that maybe the manufacturer like got the wrong piece in the box. Like it's really something like that I'm seeing with the Three of Cups in reverse and the Wheel of Fortune upright. And for a number of you, it can be something that you feel like, okay, I know divine timing is at play, but I don't really get it yet. I'm hearing that as well with the Three of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Cups as well. Now, let's pull a few more cards. I was just thinking here, you could be dealing with a water sign, Pisces, and there goes a High Priestess right there. So it could be an activation of that, archetype in some way. Let's clear it. Magician here as well. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing somebody has a very, very, like, also, they feel like this is a really good idea. They're very excited or interested in a certain space. Very attracted as well to this space, whatever it is. But there is something that they feel, is a little bit also, it's a little bit uncomfortable maybe at times. Now we have the Daughter of Cups again coming through. Wow. So for a number of you, maybe this is, and the Ace of Cups again. Oh my. And the Ten of Swords again. It's in the exact reverse order. So, and then the Five of Swords. Okay. So for a number of you, I'm hearing, I've been thinking about it over and over, and I'm trying to get it right. I'm hearing the puzzle right. They're trying to maybe plan something here. Yeah. Father of Swords and the Five of Cups. So we're seeing a lot of focus on logistics with the Ten of Swords and the Father of Swords, Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. But at the same time, there is the sort of emotion here that is as well accentuated. Thank you for tuning in. Always take as well. Let's clear the energy in the third eye. One second, real quick. I'm hearing glass eye with the Father of Swords. Could be somebody who, there's some space of being very, very fixed. I'm hearing as well. Yeah, Justice, on having some kind of feeling of preparation here to sort of wow, I'm hearing impress, to sort of lay an impression on someone. We lead out with the Son of Cups. So for a number of you, and they just kind of switch places. So for a number of you, this is something that someone has been kind of, I'm hearing they've been watering the garden from like afar. I don't know what that's going to. They've been like watering the garden, watching someone maybe like from afar, like kind of, okay, stalking me, right then flips the Fool right over the Ace of Swords. So, and the Five of Wands. So someone's been possibly wanting to make their way forward in an obvious way, and they've been taking the time with that, possibly. Wanting to make that first impression as well, like, as magical as possible is what I'm hearing as well. So yeah, Justice and mirroring the Ten of Swords. There's a lot of pressure there. Thank you for tuning in, Aquarius. Take as well. Could be taken with you in different ways. Let's clear the energy again once more and ground. For a number of you, someone has been possibly feeling restless though as well, in that space of wanting to finally like take what feels to be like that stand. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing and make this feeling evident. I'm hearing and obvious to them. Thank you for tuning in again. 1 second, real quick here before I tune it out. A few more messages. Yeah, the Hierophant and the Father Wands. So there's been a lot. Possibly someone feels like there are answers that are missing in relation that they feel might be, there are answers missing, possibly that they feel they need to have in order to communicate something appropriately, effectively. And for a number of you, I'm hearing open your inbox. I'm hearing that with the Fool and the Ace of Swords, like someone, okay, a few cards almost falling on the ground there, the Father of Cups and the Two of Wands in reverse. So for a number of you, someone has been wanting to appear like in an obvious way to someone, Son of Cups, and make maybe some sort of opening statement. I'm hearing that, or like some kind of, they want to make an opener. They want to maybe even open up a certain conversation. They want to even encourage, I'm hearing. Well, they want to sort of interact with someone, maybe even officially for the first time. Love and light to you, and I'll see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're here for you. Wow, you've been patient. 12 signs through. Here we are. And if you're dealing with a Pisces, you know, you might be sort of watching this reading to see kind of what energies might be in relation to this space. If this is an aspect of your own chart, there could be a focus on that. Let's say, you know, you might be dealing with someone who's got a Venus in Pisces. There could be a focus on what it is that they are, I'm hearing, seeing the situation as. Now, right after that, we've got the Ten of Wands. Here, it's all or bust. I'm hearing that with the Ten of Wands to clear it. We've got Taurus here as well, coming through. Nine of Pentacles, a bright Four of Cups. Someone had a really high expectation here. Possibly it didn't get off the ground in the way that was like expected, but that's okay. I'm hearing that. And the Nine of Pentacles, it could be related to career, matters of career. We apex the reading with the Ace of Cups and the Daughter of Swords. Wow, there's a lot of interest, a lot of eyes, a lot of pressure, expectation. This one feels it. There's something that maybe someone feels, yes, Temperance, we're in the Hangman. Now Pisces, you came through in a lot of readings now. A lot of signs here I'm hearing that maybe interacting with your energy around this time, so take it as you will. But there's something that maybe someone has been wanting to communicate, something that maybe you've been waiting also for the right time to communicate, or to sort of be more receptive to the space of. I don't know what that's going to, but maybe there's something that someone has in mind, and they maybe have been waiting for the time to present this to you. Now you have the Empress leading out. I'm hearing, what color crayon do you like to write with? I'm hearing that. What color crayon do you like to color with? The Mother of Swords. And ultimately, for a number of you, there's something that maybe you've had in mind. It's an idea, but ultimately you realize it's just going to be that until it's something that you infuse with your passion, with your personal vision. And to do that, to feel ready for that, to feel vulnerable enough to step into that space where you say, this is my spice and that's how I want to infuse it into this dish. That's something you got to really be ready for. And it's about you, baby, here. I'm hearing that ultimately plays with the Daughter of Wands, mirroring the Mother of Swords. Now, let's get into it here. For number, you're dealing with a Scorpio. I'm hearing that with the Temperance card. You may also be dealing with a Virgo. I'm hearing that with the Temperance card and the Hanged Man, as well as the Son of Pentacles here. Somebody who could possibly have a lot of Virgo, or they work in the field of healing. I'm hearing mentorship. They work with children, for a number of you. Mother of Cups looking down the Nine of Pentacles. This is somebody who is really, hold on, let's clear it. They got a little bit of they're really interested, but they're not, they feel like they're somebody is possibly feeling I don't want to say incompetent, but they feel uncomfortable with the idea of interacting professionally or officially in this way, in this space with someone. And it could be your own energy, and it, you know, if it, let's say it is your midhaven energy, it's like maybe there's this question of, how do I officialize this, whatever this connection is, or this interest, this hobby? How do I start really managing it in an official way where I'm presenting it, you know, as my professional sort of identity? I'm hearing that. Daughter of Cups and Reverse. Now, for a number, this is something that you've known, you've had a vision of, you've had a dream of, and it's been coming to that point of saying, yes, I do dream of that. Yes, that is my vision. That is my premonition as well. And practicing that, I'm hearing, and not avoiding it. I'm hearing that ultimately, because I'm seeing a little bit of avoidance here, actually, with the Daughter of Cups, the Son of Wands, and the Temperance card ultimately. The Hierophant has nothing, right, that it does not say of what it actually believes and feels. Temperance, I'm hearing here, speaking of what we're sort of, we sit on the sideline of, okay, we wait. Ten of Swords here to address. So let's clear that. Yeah, the Hierophant speaks of Tauran energies. It speaks of what it is that we're sure of. And so let's clear that in the third eye with the Moon leading out. For a number of you, somebody's also, they don't want to tug anymore. They don't want the in, out, on, off, you know, I'm hearing interpretive space of maybe even their passion. We have the Star in reverse, mirroring the Temperance card. They're at that point, yeah, the world leading out with the Father of Pentacles. They're at that point where they need to say what they really feel. I'm hearing them. That's maybe the point that someone's at. They're like, this is going to go nowhere until I am the one who leads this space out. So for no reason, it's a space of intention, setting it and really saying like, yes, that's what I see of it. And it could be you with you, right? But we have the Magician mirroring the Tower, and it's sandwiching the Four of Pentacles, and everyone here, right? Everyone has a Pisces energy. So wherever that energy may lie, may speak to where it is that you feel you've sort of been translating a message out. Now, you've been working with your intuition as well. I'm hearing that around this time. Death in reverse and the High Priestess of Right. Now, what is time? What is space? You take it as you will, but I'm seeing that there's been something around this time when you tune into this reading that there's something that has been building. It's your vision. Now, you might have been feeling until this point that there has been something that you've been working with, and it is the management of, I'm hearing ultimately your power, and it is related to attraction with the Death card. So for a number of you, maybe it's something that you've been really, you felt you needed to kind of gain a sense of, I'm hearing, so-called like comfort with, in the space of how it is that you connected to this ability. I'm hearing as an ability with the Death card. Interesting, an ability. So it's like, how do I work with this creative potential? And so you have the Daughter of Pentacles here, mirroring the Hierophant. For me, this is maybe a business you want to start. It's something that you feel you have a really strong vision for, and you're like, how do I do this? I'm here, how do I carry it out? How do I get it off the ground? I'm hearing that ultimately. And you have the World leading out with the Father of Pentacles. There could be some space of practicality that is really the question, and maybe for a number of you, you're considering a few options when it comes to what it is that you want to create in a really public way, official way here with the World. There's a lot of pressure here with the Father of Pentacles as well. For a number, you have a few suitors. I'm hearing that as well. A few people maybe who are on the dish, waiting to be served. I don't know what. I'm hearing out here with the Father of Pentacles in the World. This could also be someone's perspective of you. They're thinking, well, I want to come towards them, but there are these other, the number of options in terms of how it is that I can do that. There are a number of alternatives in terms of how I can address this space of attraction, ultimately the Father of Pentacles. So for a number of you, this is someone here, wow, I'm here in the long distance future with the Devil and the Nine of Cups. They're waiting to make their way towards you. This can even be your own energy space related to the Devil that you have been really working with. And it is maybe for a number of you a business, but for a number of you, there's something building. And again, this could be the energy of somebody in your midst who's really interested, but they're very much, they're curious, but they're also, I'm hearing, one second, they want to connect with you. Let's clear it in the throat chakra. They want to also clear the air, but they want to make an offer. They're thinking there's so much involved here. I'm hearing that as well. There's so many options. I'm hearing ultimately and alternatives. I'm hearing also perhaps perspectives at play. Love and light to you.